Hello, thank you for joining me on my channel In Search of Wonder. My name is Anne, and today I have another installment of a thrift store book bingo. Last year, I had a lot of fun with Chantel's thrift store bingo, book bingo. And I did it together with some of my sisters, and they helped me brainstorm some new categories to make another additional thrift store book bingo. So I made a whole new bingo card thing, and I am going to start this today. So here's the thing. Originally, I much prefer doing this sort of thing with someone else. So I was going to just have fun doing it with my husband, who is usually my companion on my thrifting adventures. Well, him or my sisters, you know, lucky people. Anyways, but he is not feeling well today. So I'm on my own, but also I have a lot to do at home, you know, boring housekeeping kind of stuff that I'm really just procrastinating on. So, I can't spend all day thrifting, and this bingo board that I made is a little harder, I think. So I am pretty sure I'm not going to be as successful at it. It's going to take a little more effort to find some of these things. So I am probably going to do this. I'm starting this video today, but I'm not expecting to have it finished for a couple weeks or so. So I'm just going to keep adding to it as I am able to go to thrift stores and do it. And just kind of make a cumulative video sort of thing. That's my plan. So I'm going to start today in the little bit of time that I have to do a little bit of thrifting this Saturday afternoon. Let me just tell you the items on this. I will link the whole file on in the description box below. So if you are desirous of having a little fun with this, you are welcome to download it and print it out. But here are some of the things that I have on here. Some of them are easy, like books by Nicholas Sparks or James Patterson, I feel like, or an Amish book. I feel like those are a dime a dozen at thrift stores. And other things have like a really broad spectrum that should be easy to find, like a book you should read but don't really want to, or a book you've been wanting to read, a book you already own, or a book that you read to your kids. Those are pretty broad and probably easy to find. And then there's some like ubiquitous thrift store books, like What to Expect When You're Expecting. I mean, I see that every single thrift store I go to, so I'm pretty sure I'll be able to cross that one off the list. Well, I don't know. The one that I'm going to first today, they curate their book selection pretty well, so they probably won't have ones like that, but generally speaking, it's readily available at a thrift store. Other items like an ethnic cookbook or poetry, that's pretty broad, or Shakespeare. So some of them are a little bit easier to find than others. Some I'm thinking might be difficult are a book by a local author. I'm actually, for myself, like I know like Toni Shiloh is a local author, but I've never seen her books in a thrift store. We'll see if I can find anything, if I even know who to look for. And then current New York Times bestseller. I don't even know what's on the best-selling list right now because I don't read current books usually. So I'd have to look at that, and if it's a really new book, I might look it up and see. But it's probably hard to find at a thrift store. So, and then a travel guide to a place I've been. Now, travel guides are a dime a dozen, and I have been to a lot of places, but specifically to a place that I've been, I don't know. A foreign language. They are out there, but they're not as readily available as English books, of course. And then recommended by a booktuber you follow. See, the thing is, I have gotten, I mean, every booktuber makes great recommendations of books. It's just the memory there. That's going to be my problem. And I'm going to have to try to remember, like, who recommended it when. And then an autographed book might be a little tricky to find. I have seen them in the past. That's why I put them on this list, but that will be tricky. And let's see, what else do we have? Anything else? A graphic novel shouldn't be too difficult. A full series or trilogy, that I think might be hard to find. A trilogy, maybe. A duology for sure, I guess. But a trilogy, we'll see. and a book with a portrait on the cover, which if they have any classics at all, that should be not too hard. And I think the only other one I have not mentioned yet is children's Christian fiction. So I have seen them in thrift stores, but they're not necessarily as ubiquitous as some of these others. The good thing is I put 2 bonus slots on here that are just like free. I guess for the sake of, what's the word? Symmetry. I should have added another one on there. That would have been smart, but I filled all the rest of the categories. So anyway, those are free ones in addition to the free one in the middle. So we'll see how far I get on this today, and I will keep filling it until I have at least one bingo, but something tells me I'm not going to be able to stop until I filled out the whole thing, or most of it. So here we go. Okay, so had a pretty good first visit to a thrift store. I don't think I'm going to fit any more in today because I really need to get home and get some stuff done. Plus, I got a little distracted because they had 50% off all their ladies' clothes. So I spent a good deal of time browsing through the ladies' clothes, and I found some great deals. I found a cabbie top for $3 and some Talbot's work pants for $3, I think. And then this Calvin Klein sweater. I love the neutral color, I like the oatmeal color. And then this little detail here at the bottom It's probably dated, but you know, it's cute. It's kind of classic, right? Anyways, it was only $3. And then just a basic t-shirt for $2. And I got this, which I have read, but I don't have my own copy. I listened to the audiobook from the library and I really liked it. So I have my own copy now. That was 50 cents. Anyway, back to the book bingo. So I was a dork and I didn't bring my purse in, so I didn't have a pen to mark off things as I found them. So when I got back in the car, I marked it down and hopefully remembered it all correctly. But as you saw, I got Nicholas Sparks, of course, The Notebook, of course, and then James Patterson, like 5 books by James Patterson, and an Amish book, but not the type I was expecting. I don't think it's a Christian fiction Amish book. I had never seen it before, and it was a cute little hardback, and it looked like a cozy mystery. Interesting, but it said Amish at the top, and it had horse and buggy on it, so definitely Amish. And then a travel guide to a place I've been, London, one of my favorite places to go. And a book I already own, which they had a couple. One that I did not show was, for this, at least, I found it after I'd already found one for the prompt, but it was a most adorable copy of Northanger Abbey. I was so close to getting it, but I didn't, because I have limited shelf space and I already have a copy of Northanger Abbey, a nice copy of Northanger Abbey, so I did not. And then I got one from the, there was a book from the Mitford series, which is actually, that might have been a stretch because I think it was from the Mitford Years. Is that a different series? Anyways, it was by that author and it was a Mitford book. So I don't have a bingo yet, which means I'm definitely going to have to make another video soon here. Maybe next week I'll have time. I don't know. I'll film it when I can. Next time I get to a thrift store, I will look for some more and try to get a bingo. This is the row I'm closest in. I need to find a book of poetry, which, you know, honestly, there may have been one in that store. I don't remember seeing one, but surely there was a book of poetry, but I didn't see it. So I still need to get a book of poetry, and then that's bingo on that one. And then there are 2 more rows where I need to get 2 more things. So I'll pick up another time, but there we go. See you next time. Hello everyone. So we have gone from a chilly day in February to a beautiful, gorgeous, sunshiny day in March. And that is how long it has been since I have had time to go running around at thrift stores looking at their used books. So I'm going to pick this back up again today. And for you, it will seem like no time has passed. So it's all good. I'm actually going to start off, and I hope this isn't cheating, I'm going to start off at the library. And I'm going to browse through their used books real quick because I have to drop off books at the library, and because this is the way it worked in my circuit this morning with combining this with running errands and what is open yet and what is not open. Anyway, so I'm going to run into the library and see what I can find. So that works for children's Christian fiction. Okay, so update on my little library visit. First of all, of course, I had a marvelous time. But also, the library parking lot was packed. I mean, like, packed. And I thought to myself, oh, I did not realize that the library was such a hot activity on a Saturday morning. Because I guess I don't ever come here on a Saturday morning. But then when I actually went into the library, I realized that they're having like this prom dress exchange thing. Hence the full parking lot. So the actual library wasn't that busy. Anyway, so I was browsing through their used books. There wasn't a lot that I was able to cross off my list, as you saw. And this is like really tattered because it's been in my purse for the last month, so that's ridiculous. But anyways, I did cross off children's Christian fiction. I found a couple options, but the first one was like a picture book. It was really cute, but it was about like a little girl who dies and goes to heaven and becomes an angel. And so I felt like it wasn't really Christian per se, because that's not really a Christian idea, like theologically sound Christian idea. And it appeared to have been self-published. And then I found another one that, again, it may have been self-published. I couldn't find who the publisher was, but it was called The Catacomb Mysteries. And I feel like I may have read that when I was younger or something very much like it, but it didn't look like the book I read. So I don't know. But anyways, that was definitely a Christian fiction book, and it was written to help. I on the clip, I showed the little paragraph at the back about how it connects to like the Bible story of Noah's Ark and biblical themes and verses, etc. So that was pretty cool. I couldn't find anything else on here. I was looking very carefully for, oh, I lie. I found, and I think I took a clip of it, but I forgot that it was on my bingo board. Yes! And that means I get a whole bingo. Yes! How exciting! I picked up this English Romantic Poetry and Anthology, which will be super handy. Well, I may read it in between now and then, but for Feb Regency, because that covers that era of poetry. So I have a book of my own instead of the one that I borrowed from the library. So I'm going to cross off poetry off my list, off my bingo board, and that means I have a bingo. Yes! So I have this whole side, a Nicholas Sparks book, a bonus, a book I already own, a book from the Mitford series, and a book of poetry. Yes! So I'm still going to go to one or two more thrift stores to see what I can find, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty happy that I did one bingo, because this board is kind of hard that I made. So the other one that I did, and I actually ended up picking up, another one that I found was a book with a portrait on the cover. So I got this one, which I read this a long time ago, and I really love this story. It's just a tragic story. I guess I like tragic stories. Anyway, and there's like an opera based on this book. It's by Alexandre Dumas. And anyway, but I don't believe that I have a copy, or if I do, it's a really old and tattered copy. So this is a nice Signet Classic basic copy of that. So the other thing, so I picked up 3 books to buy, and they have like a little cash box where you can pay, but I didn't have the exact change, and I didn't want to put my whole $10 bill in there because, like, I don't know, I already pay taxes to the library. So anyway, so I didn't want to put the whole $10 bill in there. So I went up to the front desk, and of course, you know, everything is automated now in our library system, and like you check yourself out and all of this stuff. And so the only person there was sitting at the passport desk. Thankfully, that has not yet been automated. And so I was like, is there anybody who can help me? I want to pay for these books, but I don't have exact change. And she was like, oh, just pay next time you come in. And I was like, oh, okay, you're expecting me to remember that I owe you $2.50. And the next time I have cash and change and am at the library, you're expecting all of those stars to collide at the same time. You must not really care that much about whether or not I pay. So I felt a little guilty, and I will try to remember next time I have $2.50 and I'm at the library to put it in the little cash box. Maybe y'all can periodically remind me of that so that it's, you know, stays in my brain. So I do that. So that was my visit to the library. I have at least one more thrift store I want to pop by today. I may go to another one later with my husband if I have time. We'll see. But that is the library sale and my first bingo.